All right. Without, I'm trying to not talk so close to the mic because that was a habit during the stream. What up? What up? So, without further ado, boys, without further ado, I mean, we got some news today. We got some news today. Um, Biggest headlines though, going off the title, we got Craig Jones. After the controversial ending to CJI2, he's announced he's paying Team New Wave $1 million in a consolation prize for losing. There's quite a bit to this actually. The donor, the millionaire backer, probably the billionaire backer, spoke out, and it seems like he's the one who kind of got the ball rolling on giving New Wave the consolation prize, if you will, or basically like the winning prize anyway, like just doubling up on the winning prize. So, bro, what the fuck? Testing. All right, that's better. Um, so I mean, I don't know. Let's just see. Let's get into this. So I think actually the backstory behind all this, right? Obviously, B team came out and they won. So let me just kind of knock this off first. Okay, and then to What Up's comment, he goes, was definitely a controversial ending. I mean, who even does buggy chokes? We all know fucking Luke wasn't hitting that buggy choke on Nicky Rod. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, buggy chokes are what you do to your homie to just let him know he sucks. You feel me? At the highest level, it's so hard to get a fucking buggy choke. That was his attempt to look like he wasn't stalling. Let's keep it a buck. That was his attempt to make it look like he wasn't stalling. Now, with that decision, they announced that with it being a draw, the tiebreaker essentially goes to the last winner, right? The person who won the final match, which I called last night. I said that's kind of odd, you know, for a team format to go with the final winner is kind of weird. Like I would go for the majority of matches for a team format. What team won the most matches? If it all got tallied up the same, what team had the majority of the wins? That's what I said last night. I'm standing by that pretty much. Like I'm not gonna go off that. I think that makes more sense. However, that's what the result was. The last match victor is the tiebreaker. So B team won, and I'm bringing this up because obviously Gordon Ryan was pissed. And if you're coming over from last night's stream, you already know we kind of read some of this, but he has more statements. So this was the first one he put. Corruption at its finest, not surprised at all. Making up rules on the spot is always a good way to guarantee your team wins. And then he wrote this long ass paragraph. Like I said, the entire season, or the entire reason I didn't take part in this event in any way, shape, or form was because I knew that the team competing in the tournament also picked everything from judges to production to commentators and would be corrupt. I knew the corruption from start to finish would be remarkable, and Mr. Nice Guy, Crooked Craig, would do anything to ensure we lose. Here is the contract that the event's athletes signed, showing clearly that in the event of 5 eliminations, the winning team would be determined by whichever team won more bouts. Which we did, as clearly seen on slide 4, which is a photo of the judges' scorecards. The contract and the rules we played by and prepared for clearly stated that in the event of 5 eliminations, the winning team is the team with 3 of 5 winning athletes. The rule of last match win was nowhere in the event's athletes' agreements and was made up in order to fuck us out of a win we deserved. After stacking the brackets against us and making BS tap calls, in addition, giving Nicky Fraud a 10-8 round for a single guard pass and holding a body lock for 2 minutes, only to give Dorian a 10-9 round after passing multiple times and literally surfing his knee on his opponent's face, is nothing short of comical. I knew from day one that there would be nothing but corruption, and per usual, I was correct. There is nothing to do now, as the history books will only show winners and losers. But let it be known that per the rules, all of the event's athletes contractually agreed upon. But let it be known that per the rules, all the event's athletes contractually agreed upon, we won the event. I hurt for the guys who gave it their all and were optimistic it would be fair. They are the ones who my heart hurts for. As for everyone asking why I wasn't involved, I didn't want to be part of the circus as I'm not a clown. Okay? Quite the statement. I do want to address something in the statement though, because we're talking about this 10-8 round, and what I hate is when people try to get things by and it's not being genuine. And obviously, Gordon was genuine in this, except for this one part where he says, in addition, giving Nicky Fraud a 10-8 round for a single guard pass and holding a body lock for 2 minutes, only to give Dorian a 10-9 round after passing multiple times and literally surfing his knee on his opponent's face is nothing short of comical. So let's break that down. We've already broken this down on a previous stream, so I'll do this real quick. Nicky gets the 10-8 because he passed the guard, he took down Luke Griffith. Not that the takedown really matters, but I mean it adds to the story. Took him down, passed the guard, and then Luke Griffith never recovered guard. So that's a 10-8 when somebody just mounts zero offense and zero defense, right? It's essentially a 10-8. So if he would have recovered guard, if he would have threatened with anything but a buggy choke, like Hey What Up just said, then maybe it would have been a 10-9. Because that's my argument for Ethan Krenlinston, where he says Dorian got a 10-9, and he's arguing that. Dorian got a 10-9 because Ethan was recovering guard. You know, he recovered guard, and he threatened submissions from closed guard. Okay? So there's a huge difference there. And Ethan was trying, you know, to mount some offense, some legit attempts, even though they weren't really close at all. He was trying legit attempts. You can't say the same. He tried more than a buggy choke, which I just said, right? If what's his name would have done anything other than a buggy choke, maybe I'll give him credit. Ethan did that. So obviously it's because like this is Gordon's team, and he probably just sees it with like a little bit of a biased eye. But as a non-biased, I'm telling you right now, Nicky did get a 10-8, and Dorian was deserving of a 10-9. And that's nothing against Dorian. Now here's what the rule states that Gordon posted. He goes, in the event of 5 double eliminations and no discrepancy in penalties between teams, the winner is the team that won more individual bouts based on judges' decisions according to scoring criteria. If there's a tie in individual bouts won, winning team determined based on judges' decision of team duel as a whole. But it's impossible if there's a tie in individual bouts won. I don't think that could ever happen. But keyword, the team that won more individual bouts based on judges' decisions according to scoring criteria. I mean, if this is true, scoring criteria, bouts will be judged. Okay, so that doesn't really matter. But then look at this. So this is something I'm picking up on. This is Gordon's little screenshot. And Gordon kind of like, I don't know, he left this bottom part, but he cut it off, which is kind of odd to me. Like, why not just cut it off right here above scoring criteria? Instead, like, he let it hang a little bit, and then, like, he cut, I don't know. So I don't know what's below this. That's my point. Maybe he cut out some important information I would have liked to see. Now, here is what the coach, basically the second head coach of B team had to say, Damian Anderson. He posted one, and look at the difference. Look at the difference in how these look, right? Look at the difference in how these look. So why are they sending out different forms? Everybody should have the same universal form, should they not? Right? Look at this one. The bullet points are synced up. Wait, hang on. So I don't know if this is a different part of the athlete agreement or if it's the same one or what, but just let's see what he says here. Damian says rules were given out way before the event. If 5 double and then his screenshot is if 5 double eliminations occur or any such instance where each team's final athletes are double eliminated, the team with more individual wins by judges' decision wins. If tied on scorecards, the team whose athlete won the final bout wins. If the final bout is a draw, the win goes to the team whose athlete last won a non-draw bout. So what's weird is that these rules contradict each other, right? And it goes, if tied on the scorecards, team whose athlete won the final bout wins, right? And then it goes, if 5 double eliminations occur. So now that we're reading keywords here, right? I mean, this is like dude, this just brought me back to high school. These stupid ass fucking like different sentences. So if tied on the scorecards, right? We're going to get to the bottom of this right now. If tied on the scorecards, the team whose athlete won the final bout wins. The scorecards were tied, correct? So just putting that out there. Now this is the same weird meaning. If 5 double eliminations occur, or any such instance where each team's final athletes are double eliminated, the team with more individual wins by judge's decision wins. So it 5 double eliminations occurred and they were tied on the scorecards. So, like, which one do you want to honor? Like, yes, right? Let's go like this. Yes, it was tied on the scorecards. It was tied on the scorecards. So you can go with the athlete who won the final bout. But, yes, 5 double eliminations occurred, and each team's final athletes were double eliminated. So you could go with this one too. It's just like, I think what the error here is like the decisions as far as the scorecards go, and then the double eliminations are both being counted as like, how do I say this? They're counting double eliminations as like ties, right? So if 5 double eliminations occur, they're just counting that as ties. But really, double eliminations occur, and then the ensuing next step is to score the bout, right, for a winner. So this top one is a little bit more gray. Just to be real with you. I didn't come in here with any preference. But this one's a little bit more gray. Because if 5 double eliminations occur. Well, yes, 5 double eliminations occur, but per the rule set, then each bout got scored for a winner. So this one is kind of like an incomplete thing because it almost shouldn't be here. It almost shouldn't be here, this top one. Because you do go to tied on the scorecards. This is the official one because we had to go to scorecards, right? Like there would have never been an instance where double eliminations and no scorecards happened. So like, yes, there were double eliminations, but there were scorecards. So the team whose athlete won the final bout wins. That's a fucking tongue twister, bro. I realize that, but you know what I mean? These guys are splitting hairs. And then you got Gordon saying best is low IQ Z teamers are sharing rules not in the contracts that even contradict each other. So yes, they contradict each other. First to agree with that. Bullet point 1, new wave wins. Bullet point 2, Z team wins. However, I would go with bullet point 2 since it said if tied on the scorecards. That's why I said this reminds me of fucking high school, bro, because like you would have to go through these answers and be like, what's the correct one? And they would do shit like, well, if 5 double eliminations occur, you know what I mean? That's not the end of it. The scorecards are the final result. So you got to go with this one. It's like they put a wrong answer in here, bro. They put a fucking wrong answer in the athlete agreement. That's crazy. It's like this was like a test for like, you know what I mean? The judges or something like that, so they know what to do in the case of any of these things, in the case of any of these hypotheticals. And they left one of the fucking wrong answers in here because this can't be it. 5 double eliminations occur because this is what I'm trying to say. If 5 double eliminations occur, right? And there was no draw, then the scorecards would have decided it, right? Because let's put it like this. Let's say 5 double eliminations occurred, right? And let's just call it like this. B team got 2 10-8 rounds. Well, then B team still would have won. B team still would have won because you go to the scorecards. And that's why that top one is wrong because that top one is wrong because if 5 double eliminations were to occur, I just had a brain fart, so oh well. But I'm sure you guys are picking up what I'm putting down at this point. 2 different rules agreed upon contradicting themselves anyway. So that's pretty much this part, this portion of it. And so moving on, obviously Damian made a statement. 10-9 Mika, 10-9 Victor, 10-9 Giancarlo, 10-9 Dorian, 10-8 Nicky Rod. And he goes, rules were given out way before the event, and then this was the one he shared. My personal opinion, this one isn't right anyway. And listen, if the bottom one wasn't right, if these sentences were flipped, right? If these sentences were flipped, I would have to go with the top one. I would have to go with the top one if these first sentences were flipped here. But they're not. So now Craig came out and he said, New Wave receiving 1 million USD too. Tagged John Danaher. And then Gordon said, good, and reverse the decision, you backwards F word. Okay? And I mean, I guess for the sake of the stream, let's just pull up X real quick. Give me a moment. Okay, so as far as why I'm pulling up X right now, it's because Craig is bringing out the 1 million because the donor, here it is, because the donor came out and he said this. So the man who's providing the money, the cash money for the event, right? The anonymous CJI donor. Here's what he said. I'm the anonymous CJI donor. New Wave will get 1 million too. I am the anonymous CJI donor, and from my interpretation of the rules, New Wave should have won. I also thought they won on points, but I'm not a judge, and that's a separate discussion. I've asked Lachlan Giles to comment below to confirm that I'm the donor. In any case, I'm going to put up another million to pay New Wave. There was no bad intent from Craig, Seth, the judges, or anyone. It just went down in a effed up way, and the easiest way to make it right is to simply pay New Wave the 1 million that they deserve, so we'll make it right. Stay tuned. Here's what I have to say. I disagree with him. I think that the way it happened, per what I just read, off of what Damian showed. But then again, you know, I gotta keep it fair, right? And that's what Damian showed. He is more involved in the event than Gordon, right? So I think I will have to believe his paperwork.
47.
But it's just like Gordon has some good paperwork too, bro. And like, what was above this? Is there a bullet point above this? It looks like there is. Potentially there is. I'll take his word for it because he was surprised to see that on Damian's thing. So I'll take his word for it that it's not. But I mean, you guys tell me, bro. These guys are splitting hairs. So I just want to put that out there. The donor is the one who's kind of getting Craig to fork up the money. The donor. He believes that New Wave should have won, and he believes they won on the scorecards. It's all good. That's his opinion. Now, there's a little bit more we can get into real quick. Just let me pull this up real quick. So, you know, obviously Gordon had to say what he had to say about the event, right? And none other than just hang tight. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably want to see it. This is what I'm scrolling through. Gabi Garcia's stories. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and pause that. Um, CJI is the most entertaining event in grappling history. I know I take a long time to post, but boys, just wait until you see this footage. I never hype shit up. CJI 2 was amazing. Okay, this isn't it. Here we go. Alright, we're getting there. My bad, my bad. I've given you guys like false hope twice now. I won't do that again. Oh, wait. Did Gabi post it? She must have deleted it. Give me a minute here. Give me a minute. I got it. I just thought we could get it from her Instagram. But I'll just go to where I found it. Shout out Lock-In Jiu-Jitsu. Lock-In Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, they got Lock-In MMA too? I didn't even know that. Okay. I want a Ferrari. Okay, here we go. All I want to do is ball at the mall. Spend 50 grand on all of my dogs. Okay. I thought the team format was awesome. People are so selfish, they don't even know what a team means. Talking about Gordon. You can't train alone, brother, and if you don't know how to fight as a team, you'll never be anybody. Same thing as the keyboard commentators. Packed house, 175K live on YouTube. You guys are only mad because you're not here and not even competing. And today you're all shocked that Craig brought 50K so these who called themselves goats could watch something interesting from their couch. Nobody even remembers you, if not because you a joke. When you die, your medals don't go with you, bro. But everyone will remember you as the biggest pussy in the sport. Enjoy your retirement from the couch, supporting your teammates, quote unquote. Oof. Gabi cooked his ass, bro. I never heard somebody say that before. Nobody will remember when you die, your medals don't go with you. Ooh, that fucking gave me chills, bro. Unlike some fighters who call themselves the GOAT while trashing everyone else's name, this is Craig, actually trying to bring something better to the sport in our community. 10K to show up, 1 million, 50K for submission. Bro, we know how much the events pay. You talking trash about Craig is the same to not support your teammates. If you don't even know what a team means, since you can't even bother to show up and support your training partners, then don't come talking. I told my team, quote unquote, nah. You told nobody. Saying, quote unquote, your team only shows how selfish you are. Turning off comments and bad-mouthing Craig is easy. Let's see you run a show with your own name on it. Your fear of losing made you quit. That same fear made Craig 100 times more important than you. So shut your mouth before you talk about someone who actually did something for the sport. And between us, bro, we know who is you in real life. Disgusting. Barface. How talking shit about the guy changing the sport when you are a terrible person behind the phone and you stop competing, it's only because you don't handle when you lose and you know your time is done. I never open my mouth for talking about anyone, but talking about me, you asked a photo for me, bro. You asked a photo for me, bro. I never talk about you. We know, dude, you don't care about nobody. Nobody remembers you if not block the nobody remembers you if not block the comments. Hope you never open your mouth for talking about me, or I need bring public who is you. Ooh, Gabi. Damn, Gabi, you spitting hot fire, girl. Shit, I already liked you, but I mean, not that I hate Gordon or anything, but damn, girl. I like you off of that, I'm telling you right now. Bro, all the homies hate Gordon, bro. What up, my boy Jew? Okay. So, I mean, let me just see if Mikey had something to say. Real quick, give me a second. Okay, so Mikey, anything to say, brother? Yeah, he had something to say. Oh no, wait, let me see. Okay, Mikey doesn't have something, but he's got something. He's got something else. So we're gonna touch on this right now, especially because everyone's making content off it. So okay, let me make some content off it. And it ain't what everyone else is saying. It's probably what everyone else is. What all you real people are thinking who watch this. It's probably what you're thinking. But all the media people, dude, these guys are such phonies, bro. I'm telling you, people who make posts and shit like that. Like, look at Mikey. Mikey, you right already need to be quiet because you fucking co-signed Derek Moneyberg's fake black belt. And now you're walking back your words because Craig called you out for it on Mighty's fucking podcast debate, okay? And now here you are, not understanding shit, right? Coming in here like, I'm so sorry. Dude, you just inserted yourself in something you know nothing about. So like, just fucking step back, bro. Let's fucking talk about this right now. This shit is pissing me off actually. We're gonna watch this first.
What kind of stuffs have you experienced like that?
I was sexually abused as a child. You know, I mean, that's not an easy thing.
You must have been an attractive young gentleman.
What?
What? Straight face.
I'm gonna leave you with one last thing because we have to hop up, but I'm gonna tell you this. Like they say, okay? When life gives you sexual abuse, you gotta make lemon juice.
Thank you for the advice. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Insightful. Insightful indeed.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the fact that Tom DeBlass was actually playing. I mean, he's probably being serious. Tom DeBlass has already kind of opened up talking about his situation here, I think, in the past. So I'm gonna say Tom was joking here. Although this did happen, if that makes sense to you. He was kind of joking, messing around. He was okay to take it light. I think he knew the situation, and I'm gonna give him that benefit of the doubt. And if he watches this, then, you know, feel free to fucking comment or let me know what you think. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He knew the situation, and he was just playing around too. But you have everybody, Luke Thomas, Mikey. You know, what is wrong with the jiu-jitsu community is in this video. I'm so sorry what happened. You have been through in your life, and that's not funny. I respect so much you not breaking his neck when he said that to you. This generation of saying and insulting people to get a rise out of them, and then when they react playing victim is horrible. This sums up Reddit BJJ as well. We need a flood. Renato, shame on you. Bro, there's two ways this could have gone. Either Tom was joking, and Renato knew it, and he was allowed to play with him, right? He was allowed to play with him. When I say joking, I mean something along the lines of like Tom wanted to bring this up for the viewers to get attention to it for some odd reason because that's what he likes to do. And then Renato was allowed to riff off of it, right? In his comedian style. That's what I think happened. That's what I'm predicting happened. Now, if Tom DeBlass didn't have enough self-awareness to realize that he's speaking to a fucking American, Renato Laranja is an American, bro. This is a fake accent, a fake name, and a fake gimmick. He's not Brazilian. So you're talking to a guy in character. Now, if fucking Tom didn't know that and he genuinely wanted to have a heart-to-heart with Renato, then Renato had every right to remain in character. Every right to remain in character. You don't get to just come around and say this everywhere you want, especially in a comedy set, and then he has to break character because this is sensitive for you, but then you're going to be completely clueless as to like what formats you're in and when to bring it up and when not to bring it up. And because something bad happened, everybody's going to be like Mikey and be like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry what happened to you, because that's so easy to say. This is what's wrong with people, is they're so quick to hop on shit like this. everything isn't so like, oh my god, he said the word sexually assaulted, like oh my god, like bend down on your knees and just listen to everything he has to say. That's not what it means, bro. There's a time and a place for everything. And Tom's got his own big platform he could speak about this on. But I'm gonna say Tom was trying to bring awareness to it, and he knew Renato was gonna joke back about it, and he was okay with it. But if it's that other thing I just explained, I mean, bro, come on, I don't feel bad for Renato at all. And so everybody, take that aside. Take Renato and Tom's dynamic aside. Everybody going like this right here. We need a flood. Renato, shame on you. Bro, Renato is in character, Mikey. In character, bro. And you should know this. But I don't, you know, Mikey's really like, he's shown his true colors. So I'm like, I'll leave it alone. Now, we're going to move on to something else, a new topic. That's pretty much the whole CJI topic. This is the new topic. Right here. Rampage Jackson crashing out over people calling for his son to go to jail. Or calling for street justice on his son. So let's read it. Rampage Jackson responds to people calling for street justice on his son Raja Jackson after hospitalizing pro wrestler Psycho Stu. Quote unquote, and then I'll read you the full quote. I don't even need to read this preview. Here's what he said. This has gone too far. I'm sick of being quiet and letting all the low IQ people fall for clickbait. Yes, my son took things too far and I'm pissed at him for being a piece of shit and the way he handled it. But if Psycho Stu wasn't drunk and wouldn't have hit my son over the head with a parenthesis or, you know, real beer can while he was live streaming on his own stream, then Knox wouldn't have felt like they had to make things right by letting Raja get his get back in the ring. If my son would have just went to the police when the beer can incident happened, then the whole event could have gotten shut down and he could have sued. But no, my son is not as smart as I'd like for him to be. Now my family and I are getting racist threats because of all the misinformation being posted so content creators can get paid from viewers. People actually think my son just snuck in a ring in front of a live audience and picked Psycho Stu up without permission to be there. Get smart, people, it was staged, but Raja took it too far. He only shook his hand and accepted Psycho Stu's drunken apology because they said he could get in the storyline. He was told he could fuck him up. I have witnesses that says this isn't the first time that Psycho Stu had done some drunk shit backstage to a fan. Now we have the backstory that my son attacked an innocent military vet with PTSD, like my son knew everything about the man that came up from behind him and hit him then asked him to sell it. I have other kids to protect and I don't take kindly to threats. I'm not scared of prison or dying for my kids, and calling me names won't hurt my feelings. My son should face the consequences for going too far. He knows better. That's why he didn't tell me anything about the storyline. But Psycho Stu is lucky I wasn't there when he hit my son over the head with a beer can the day after he got a concussion from sparring the day before. I wouldn't have cared if a bunch of pro wrestlers would have jumped me. I'm a father first. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Let's all learn a lesson. Keep your damn hands to yourself. If you get paid to do fake fighting, don't disrespect people that do the shit for real. Now I put myself in the shit. DM me now. So this is what Rampage had to say. I was saying this too, bro. Psycho Stu, you know, if he never fucking did that, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. So that must be accounted for, and that's fine to account for that. But where he crashed out is he's talking about going to jail for his kids and shit like that. It ain't that serious, Rampage. Nobody's going to come do shit to you. Just relax, bro, and stop talking about it and stay off stream for a little bit. And then, so this is what he posted. He posted the screen grab. The cops won't get him, so it's time for street justice. Literally 5 likes on it. It wasn't even like a viral fucking comment or anything. And here's Rampage. I just found this super weird and like interesting that he's literally co-signing with the commenters that his son deserves to be locked up. Look, Raja might see the consequences of his actions, shocker, as he should, just like anyone. Honestly speaking, the best Raja could do is give Psycho Stu some financial compensation for the days and weeks he missed out on that could have earned him a living. It's great that Stu is coming back to health, so at most you guys could just try to make amends with the man and give him whatever that he needs for the damages he sustained that could affect him in long-term health. Raja needs some type of punishment and therapy. Like, he just, like, they didn't even call that. They didn't even call for anything like that from Raja, and his dad's just like, punishment and therapy. Like, Rampage is trying to appease. He cares more about approval from his followers than his own son. Nah, your kid deserves time. Way too far. Facts. I love you, Rampage, but Raja definitely deserves some jail time. Facts. Like, bro, you really care about this person's approval more than your own son? Your son fucking hates you now, probably. Facts, bro? Facts? With the fucking hands up? Like, bro. Bad taste, Rampage. That's your son, man. That's your fucking son, dude. Like, I don't fuck with that at all, man. I would never tell on my family, let alone my own flesh and seed. And that's not to say I co-sign Raj's behavior or actions, but it's just like, bro, why can't you say this, Rampage? It's not for you or anyone to decide if someone goes to prison or jail other than the courts. It's not for anyone to say. It ain't my place. I would never wish jail or prison upon any man. That's not my fucking place. It's for the courts to decide. If he gets jail time, he gets jail time. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's not my fucking job. I'm not calling for a man to get locked up behind bars, bro. That is fucked up. Like, I would never wish that upon any man. So, you back up your son, right? Saying, like, Psycho Stu started, and then you're like, facts, facts, facts. Like, bro, goofball. Goofball, man. Rampage is father of the year. Bro, Rampage is speedrunning this little post-UFC career he's got as a streamer. He's speedrunning it to the ground. Honestly, like, I've always loved Rampage, like, somewhat admired him for years before he was a streamer, just based off his legacy. I'm from Southern Orange County. Rampage literally had a gym here. Rampage had a gym here. I went to his gym when I was in high school. Like, I always looked up to Rampage. And I took a class at his gym from one of his coaches in the UFC. That's how much I used to follow Rampage. I was like, oh, that guy, like, is in Rampage's corner on TV. And then he was coaching a class. Anyway, I've always respected Rampage. Had an admiration for the man. But, like, honestly, every time I see him on video now, I like him less and less. I feel bad saying that, but it's just like, Rampage, I don't know, like, you know, between the women you're with, like, it's all kind of a turnoff for me, bro. All of it's kind of a turnoff for me. So there's more to it, though, because Rampage had this to say as well. He followed that up. Rampage followed that shit up with more. Let's see it. I gotta go to his Instagram because I didn't post it. So Rampage posted the exchange, of course. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is the footage of the backstage. Rampage posted that, and he goes like this: not justifying anything, I'm going against my attorney's advice by talking about it, but people seems to think Raja wasn't allowed in the ring. Again, Rampage finds the weirdest things to harp on. Nobody says Raja wasn't allowed in the ring, bro. Like, literally nobody. I've put in all my posts in a work gone wrong. The nationwide caption is work gone wrong. Rampage focusing on racism, and then now he's switching it because everybody's hating on him for racism. So now he's like, my son was allowed in the ring. It was agreed upon. Bro, we all saw the video. Like, we've all seen it. We have all seen the video of AJ Styles, or whatever the hell this guy's name is right here. Right? Whatever this guy's name is. We've seen the video. He's telling Rampage, or Raja, hyping him up that he's going to get his lick back. Raja shook the guy's hand. Like, I don't know where Rampage, or why he harps on weird shit. Nonetheless, not justifying anything, I'm going against my attorney's advice by talking about it, but people seem to think Raja wasn't allowed in the ring. Hopefully the threats to my family members will stop after this. Will be the last post about it. This video is still only an edited clip to stop some of the misinformation. Raja is still a piece of shit for what he did. Oh my god. Appeasing his followers. This guy's still trying to appease his followers. You already did it like 7 times this morning, responding to comments and calling him a piece of shit in that first caption. And here you are doing it again because you can't take criticism. But he's not the only person that handled things wrong. But Raja is the only one I'm disappointed in this situation. Psycho Stu didn't deserve what happened to him. Everybody that knows me knows how much love and respect I have for our military and our veterans. Raja had no idea who Psycho Stu was or that he had PTSD. I would hope that if my son knew that, he would have handled it differently. I would have. This part is for racist people only. You know who you are. I'm talking to all different races. Look at the situation as 2 men getting themselves involved in something stupid that could have been avoided. At the end of the day, a man who's hurt, let's hope we can move on and learn from this. At the end of the day, a man was hurt. Let's hope we can move on and learn from this, and everyone gets the punishment that they deserve, even my son. Nobody is above the law. Dude, this guy is just screaming, trying to get approval from his followers. I cannot stand this. And then you post a video like defending your son. Like, what is it, bro? Like, you're just trying to say he was allowed in the ring. Like, nobody cares. We all know he was allowed in the ring. There's so much footage to back that up. You posting this isn't changing shit. Like, everybody's already posted it. Here you are 2 weeks later. You're the only one still posting about it. Then we're going to post about you talking about it, crashing out, just like I'm doing now. And the narrative's going to continue. And you can't handle hearing about it. And you're going to react again. Rampage is the same guy who, I'm starting to realize this stuff about Rampage. When Joe Rogan was saying he can't leg kick, Rampage literally had to go confront him. There's a viral video. Go look it up on YouTube. Rampage confronts Joe Rogan about his leg kicking or about his commentary. Then people have been posting a clip. Should I pull it up? I think I'm going to have to pull it up. I think it's telling. Of Rampage and how he reacts to controversy surrounding his name. So 1 second here. Fucking Rampage is gonna hate me, bro. Rampage is gonna fucking hate me. Okay, it's literally the first thing that pops up. I typed in Rampage Jackson and this popped up. Historic Vids posted this. Historic Vids. Okay, so, you know, Rampage, like I said, he didn't like when Joe Rogan was criticizing, saying he can't leg kick people. Joe used to say that Rampage wasn't good at leg kicks and he needs to throw more leg kicks. So that's why Rampage crashed out on him and confronted him in a UFC arena and made Joe Rogan apologize. Now read this. On July 15th, that's 1 day after my birthday, by the way, Rampage Jackson is arrested after a police chase where he crashed multiple cars, causing a woman's miscarriage. He was only sentenced to 200 hours of community service. Oof. So Rampage, if your son's a piece of shit, I just want to know what you are. What does that make you, Rampage? What does that make you? At least Raja got hit over the head with a beer can. And he was allowed to do what he did and he just got carried away. You lost? You know? You lost a fight, bro, and then you crashed out. And just, because I read that separate caption somewhere else, so Historic Vids must have like reposted this, or the other post I saw must have reposted this. So let me just look something up real quick. Rampage Tapology. Let's see if the dates sync up. Let's go ahead and see if these dates sync up. July 15th, 2008, right? What do you know? What do you know? Lost to Forrest Griffin, July 5th, 2008. And he always talks about how he thought he beat him. Now I get the context. Now I get why Rampage couldn't let it go. Now I get why Rampage couldn't let it go when he had Forrest Griffin on his podcast and they kept talking about it. Now I see why Rampage couldn't let it go, because he knows Forrest knows that he crashed out. He knows Forrest knows he crashed out on July 18th or 15th. 10 days after his loss. This one irks Rampage so bad. This was after the Ultimate Fighter. So all that build-up, Rampage crashed out. Keep in mind, he also crashed out on Rashad Evans on their season of the Ultimate Fighter. So I think that pretty much sums up the context of Rampage for today. It actually shocks me that I got his son's back more than him. But causing a woman's miscarriage, I'm not going to go too deep on that because that's a very sensitive thing. But the only reason why I'm harping on it is because you called your son a piece of shit, bro. And you said that he deserves jail time. You only got 200 hours of community service. So who the fuck are you to say that shit? Who the fuck are you to say your son deserves jail time? I know you're his father, and sure, you can have your opinion if you want to, but first off, that's shady as fuck that you're his father saying that. If my father said that, I'd never speak to him again. And number two, you got away with 200 hours of community service after crashing multiple cars, going on a high-speed chase, and causing a woman to have a... Look at him on the floor here, bro. With a car that's got his face on it. There's a different caption from an MMA account. I guess we won't find it. But, you know, that's Rampage for you. That is Rampage for you. Let's see what the people are saying in the chat. Pressure and criticism really getting to him. Really bad. He doesn't know how to handle it. And he's fucking volunteering himself on stream. Kicking it with Neon. To get Neon's, like... like, it's one thing if a fighter does it. It's different when Rampage is doing it. Main problem is the 26 punches to the unconscious guy. Sounds like John Jones. That is the main problem. But again, like, and nobody's kind of like refuting that, right? But I think you probably said this when I was speaking about how Rampage is focusing on racism and people thinking that Raja wasn't allowed in the ring. It's like, that's not it, bro. The main problem, just like Ju said, the main problem is the 26 punches. Well, it's actually 19, I counted. Sounds like John Jones. Low-key sounds like John Jones. Now, I think we got some bookmarks, but let me just make sure there's no copyright before I show it. Oh, I got this bookmarked, actually. I figure I'll show this. We can't wait for New Mansa to come back. Check him out. He was training with B Team a little bit. Damien, this is the coach for B Team. Damien is trying to also become an MMA fighter, I believe. Or he might be an MMA fighter. But this is Joaquin Buckley and Damien getting some grappling in at B Team last year, 2024.
You see?
Oh, God. Yes, sir.
Maybe Joaquin was working on a little bit like defensive tactics here. But I would love to see him like 3 months at B Team. Look at him rocking the B Team jersey. You're rocking BT jersey. But I would honestly love to see Joaquin spend about 3 months in Texas, like especially during this off time, and just come back with a crazy fucking grappling game. Because you got to. In this day and age, bro, these guys are killers in jiu-jitsu, and B-Team's the best, you know? They just won CJI, so I think Joaquin had a good move coming over to B-Team, training there, and I think he should go back and get some more work in. Or, dude, like, J-Rod's fucking, and I mean, like, we already had our time with J-Rod and his whole situation. I'm past it. But it's like, I think he's cool with J-Rod, so, you know, J-Rod ain't doing shit right now. Maybe invite J-Rod down to come fucking, you know, just roll with him. Good vibes and shit like that. I think J-Rod's a decent guy, even though he had that little corn addiction going on. Alright, let's see what else there is. Oh, there was like this street fight in Walmart, but I can't show it. Here's what we'll kind of get to. There's only a little bit of news left. We got maybe about 20 minutes or so we can do.
Do you and Tom have a...
Here's Tom's father talking about if he's okay if he retires.
a vision of when you've made it, of like, it's the point, son, and...
Yeah, when he retires.
Yeah.
When he gets out of it healthy. That's all I'm bothered about. You know, he's made some money now. Could get out of it now if he wanted to and do something else. He still wants to prove a bit more, and I'm still active enough to keep doing it with him, so when he wants to get out, he can get out. It won't bother me if he packed in tomorrow. Just what we do together, this. Find something else to do together. He's got 3 kids. I can do loads of stuff with them. So, still got loads of stuff to do, hopefully.
I really like that his dad said that. We're not going to do this for much longer as far as these fighters going out bad in the UFC. We're not going to continue to do this. If it's like one of my missions, bro, that's one of my missions. Is making sure that these guys realize, bro, stop getting sucked out by the UFC, man. Stop getting sucked out by these guys. You know, I see it too much with all the retired guys already. You know, it makes it like, you know, it's sad, bro. It's sad. BJ's posting more weird shit today, complaining about somebody stealing his $500 chainsaw. The GOAT BJ complaining about a $500 chainsaw getting stolen from him. Shane Carwin. A lot of these guys, man. So, Tom will get out on time, and his father will make sure of it. This whole tradition of you get the other guy over. Yeah, in the WWE, bro. This is the fucking UFC where you get killed doing something like that. Fuck no, you don't get the guy over. It's guess what? That's all a fake narrative. Guess who gets the guy over? The UFC. Dana White, get your guys over. Stop asking the fighters to get them over and taking off their life points because you don't want to fucking do your job and promote them. You're taking the easy route. Oh, you beat the champ, you become all of this greatness. No, you don't. It's a fucking lie. It's the biggest lie you ever told. If that's the case, why isn't fucking, you know, why didn't Kamaru's greatness rub over to Leon, and then why didn't Leon's greatness fucking, you know, double up and rub over to Bilal, and then why didn't that triple up and rub over to fucking JDM? It's because it doesn't happen like that. This is the stupidest thing I ever heard. You beat the champ, you become as big of a star as him. Okay. That's why Juliana Pena became this massive star above Amanda Nunes, even though Amanda Nunes has never been a star. I feel like I have other shit I want to show you guys. Shout out my boy Bert. Bert posts good info, good news, and Bert didn't post shit today. Let me see here. We got Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. It's a decent fight. Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. Surprised to see Royval getting booked already, though, man. He should have taken at least 6 months off. Manel Kape hits like a truck. It's a very similar matchup to Joshua Van. As far as a short, stocky, fucking, boxer. So that's a tough fight for Royval. Maybe Royval likes the matchup. I don't know, but he has a lot of brain damage as of late. He pulled out a fight because of concussions, hopped in there and got his ass beat pretty bad by Joshua Van, and like 3 months later he's got a fight booked. I think I'm gonna have to go with Manel Kape. Yeah, it keeps getting booked. That's why I didn't post it. When I saw it, I was like, bro, haven't I already posted this like 3 fucking times now? At least once I posted it. So I was like, I'm over it. Oh, December 13th. So that's 3 months away. So about 6 months by the time Royval gets back in there. I would have liked to see him take 6 months off, though. Because he's back training, sparring now. I'm gonna go Kape though. Who you got, Jew? You got Kape in that because of the concussions from Royval. I thought Royval was gonna beat Joshua Van, if I'm being real. After the performance Royval had on, what was it Tatsuro Taira? Royval had that performance against Tatsuro Taira, right? Should I make sure of that? Yep, Taira's one loss, Royval. So I was big on Royval, man. And he kind of shit the bed against Van, but that's okay. I don't know if you guys know about this one. You definitely probably don't. But hey, and like I said, shout out my boy Bert. Give him a follow, bro. I'm plugging you right now, Bert, because you always show me love. So shout out my boy Bert. Tatsuro versus Brandon Royval. Speaking of Tatsuro, Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro is booked or is in the works for UFC 323. This is could be a backup title fight, possibly as a backup to the title fight that could be announced soon. So Bert's over here breaking news saying that Royval versus Taira is in the works for UFC 323. Let's see if it comes to fruition. Rampage is father of a prisoner year. Rampage Jackson, man, speed running his career to a fucking decline.
I'm gonna.
Why not? Why not?
I'm going to go Jack. I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as like gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes because Jack has that level of offense off his back. From the things that I remember seeing in the Volk fight, their first pairing, I see the fight potentially going that way, but I think Jack's in a better position to take advantage of the things that Volk couldn't. I think he's got better hands, especially over 5 rounds with the longer arms and the reach, especially considering Islam's going to be trying to close that distance to get closer. Jack's tight fighting is so high level. Honestly, skill-wise, I think they both have their strengths. I don't think either one of them is overly superior in any which way. Like, yes, Islam would be a better wrestler, but Jack has the grappling to kind of threaten that. Not to mention, I think he's got the type boxing to make him pay for anything he doesn't pull off well.
Yeah.
I do think Islam has got the kick superiority. And if Jack doesn't address that, which he hasn't in a lot of his fights, the kicks, he's going to get kicked a lot. Okay, Islam likes throwing kicks. He used that very well against Volk as well.
Heavy kicks too, heavy kicks, and he does have that head kick KO over Volk. I think Islam's got that dexterity too. So if you guys think JDM might be too tall for a head kick, I think Islam can get it up there.
So I think that's going to be a game plan of Islam, is to try and wear him down with those kicks. Take a takedown when they see him, but I can see him really going heavy in the kicks. External factors aside as well, Jack has nothing to lose.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? As well. And I think Islam's got everything to lose. He's the hottest prospect right now in MMA.
Yeah.
I think he just misspoke. I think he's just trying to say that, like, he's the underdog, I guess. I don't know if JDM's really the underdog. Probably is, right? Just because of what Islam's accomplished. But I think he's saying, like, he's the underdog. People expect him to lose. So that's what he doesn't have to lose. Is, like, if he loses, people expected it. I think I see a lot of people saying, JDM has something to lose, bro. He's got the belt. It's like, yeah, bro. I think Whitaker knows that. Honestly, I think he's just saying, like, he doesn't have much to lose because people expect him to lose to Islam. But I'll say this. I think Whitaker got caught making a little bit of TV here because a lot of people think JDM's going to pull it off against Islam after seeing what he did to Bilal. So it's not a super popular narrative of, oh, JDM's got no chance. It's we respect the fight. We respect the fight for sure. For sure we respect the fight. So in that case, like, he's got something to lose too. Like, people respect a JDM. They're rooting for him to win. He's going to disappoint people if he loses. Can't show that. Okay. Check it. You guys remember this guy? Nasty. Bro, perfect execution. Bro, Zabit has still got it. Zabit still got it. Alright, I'm going to go to one more source for news. One more source for news tonight. Oh, actually, I know what we can do. I know what we can do. Not. Oh, here's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, we got a couple things. Okay. Let's go with this one. The next Dana White's Contender Series hype job fights tomorrow. Tommy McMillan. Somebody please help me understand this. Why? I'm going to say you guys, but I'm not going to group you guys in. Like I'm just saying it for the majority of fans. Why do you guys continue to do this shit? Continue to do this shit. Sean O'Malley's teammate Tommy McMillan is fighting on D-Day. He says, why? Because he's got curly hair and some fucking like arm sleeves and like a chest piece now, and he like holds up guns and shit like that, like Tommy gun, like, and he's you know, he trains. Like, why, dude? Why are you guys doing this? It's honestly so annoying. Like, it makes me not like these guys from the start, because you guys want to come in here and act like there's something, and they're not, bro. What's his viral knockout? What's he done on the regional circuit that's made waves? You're making me hate on this dude because you guys are fucking like letting me know he's fighting. Like, I don't give a fuck. He's 8-0, 27 years old. He's got a long way to go, bro. A long way to go. 8-0, you should be fucking like 15-0 coming in the UFC. 8-0 coming in the UFC was Cody Garbrandt era, 2014, 2015. Now you need to be like 16-0, bro. 8-0, you ain't done shit. 8 amateur fights, 8 pro fights. He's been at it for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 finishes. Let's see his opponents. 3-0, 0-0, 14-35, 2-0, 8-5, 6-4, 7-4, 21-19. All first round finishes. We've seen this before, boys. We've seen this before. Now, this guy, David Mugoyan, he's Russian, but this is like a scrub-ass Russian, if you ask me. 21 years old. This kid's about to get his ass beat. And then you guys are going to hype up Tommy McMillan even more. And it's going to fucking irk me. But you will soon realize that if I don't speak about these guys, then like, or once like they start getting hyped up and I don't fucking co-sign it, you're going to start realizing. You're going to start realizing who to listen to and who not to listen to. Championship rounds doing this shit for likes or something. I don't get it. Low-key zesty, bro. Low-key zesty. Like when you guys hop on somebody's bandwagon who hasn't done anything, zesty as hell. It's always I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. It's always the fucking curly-haired white boys too. Or just the white boys in general. Sage Northcutt, Sean Brady, this kid, fucking that one dude with the curly hair. I don't even know his name. What's his name? I'm gonna pull it up. I'll give him a shout, because he's one of them too. Austin Bashi. I mean, we all know the demographic of the UFC fan base, but still. On this guy's fucking nuts, bro. On this guy's nuts. Kills me. Okay, I'll show you guys too the Contender Series shit. He did a face-off. Again, he's just, you know, typical Sean O'Malley like starter pack. This guy's got the Sean O'Malley, Conor McGregor starter pack. Arm sleeve, chest piece, curly hair, fucking talk some shit, get finishes. It's the you know, McGregor, Sugar Sean starter pack. And that's why you guys like him, huh? Because he's got that starter pack. He got the starter pack.
Little ass boy, you a little ass boy. You know it's my time. You know it's my time. No, watch with me. It's not your time. You know it's not your time. You know it's my time. Little ass boy, you a little ass boy. You know it's my time. You know it's my time. No, watch with me. Remember, it's not your time. You know it's not your time. You know it's my time.
Let's see what happens. They're giving him, this is what's happening again. I'm telling you guys the truth here. A lot of you guys watch this shit and just like accept it. So I have to break it all down for you and red pill your ass. The UFC is going to try to make this kid a star because there's a little bit of hype behind him. You know, so it's fine. But they're giving him this guy's going to lose tomorrow. Okay? And let's say this guy beats him, then shit. That's really, really bad. Because I'm telling you, the UFC set him up here. And if you don't believe me, okay, let's prove it then. 27 years old, 8-0, right? 5'11", okay? 27 years old, 5-0, 8'11". Or sorry, you got me. 27, 8-0, 5'11". 21, 7-0, 5'9". Okay? This guy probably belongs at bantamweight. He's also got a lot of finishes: 2-0, 2-0, 1-3, 6-3, 5-3, 18-12, 9-13. So it's the same shit. These guys are both fighting cans. So again, look at this guy. Of course, look at his Tapology pick. And then you got Babyface over here. So you already know what the UFC's trying to do here, and that's fine. But I'm telling you guys, I'm just telling you. Now. Oh, Magoyan's from American Top Team. You got them going, war. That's the one right here. Oh, the biggest. Oh my god. I think I have to bite my tongue, bro. You guys know who runs this account, right? What I was just talking about, he's one of them. He'd probably be the biggest one. In fact, Prospect Watch, three-time kickboxing world champion from Uzbekistan, calls his shot for UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. All smash these flyweights. Show some love to Fur blah 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 blah. A 3x kickboxing world champion from Uzbekistan who wants his shot at 125 pounds in the UFC. This flyweight hasn't had a fight go past round 2 in 6 years and promises to bring a highlight reel KO should he get the call for UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. These guys always want to fight in Abu Dhabi. Oh, so hasn't had a fight go past round 2 in 6 years, huh? Okay, let's look him up. Let's look him up. Hasn't had a fight go past round 2 in 6 years, huh? Okay. Must be pretty good then. (14-4). 2 years ago, guillotine choked. Second round. 4 years ago, round 1 knockout. 5 years ago, round 1 knockout. 6 years ago, round 1 knockout. So, homie fucking, when he flexed on us like that, 6 years, dude, 3 of those years he fucking had 3 fucking knockouts in a row. So why are you glazing, dude? Because you fucking asked him for an interview and shit?
Hello guys.
I ain't doing this shit, bro. I'm gonna change the fucking game, bro.
That landed.
Has to post a highlight too and everything. Loves him. This would be the next one, bro. Speed run his UFC career. He ain't shit. 30 years old. Sure, he has a lot of first round knockouts. 5-4, 3-3, 3-4, 9-4, 5-3, 0-2, 0-0, 0-3. Because he can't beat these guys. Vinicius Oliveira is already in the UFC, got knocked out in the first round. He's a flyweight. This guy can't fucking hang. All of his wins are against 0-3, 3-4, 1-1, 0-1, 0-0. This guy's got a shit-ass fucking record. A shit-ass record. He's a shithouse. Only good win he's got is this one, 14-4. Comes off of LFA, we're going to just like fucking hype his ass up. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You guys are going to learn, bro. You guys are going to fucking learn. The ones that I hype up deserve it. I got 3 off the top of my head who I hype up. Phil Rowe, Joaquin Buckley, Randy Brown. Time will prove me right. And yes, I was a Sean O'Malley believer in the beginning too. And that's no, like, I ain't being shady about that. I believed in Sean O'Malley. Like, I co-signed him. I ain't co-signing this McMillan guy though. Even if he gets a good knockout, because we just saw, dude. We just saw. Look, I even commented on here. What's his record in MMA? One of my homies, Douglas, who follows, goes 15-4. Yeah, but I know Douglas didn't look at it as deep as I did. Oh, and then I told you, right? I told you. Full Send MMA is the fucking biggest fucking like glazer of them all for these fucking curly haired white boys. And I know that he just did it for this guy too. But like, look at this one. Oh, homie doesn't even do it. But he had to fucking have this guy on. Look at him cheesing. Guys, I'm not gonna say the shit I'm thinking, but like, come on, bro. MMA zesty as hell, bro. MMA zesty as hell, bro. Look at him cheesing. Look at this guy with the white glasses. The Sean O'Malley starter pack, bro. Happy Dad's right here. Oh. Get the fuck off my fucking screen, bro. Oh, yeah, you know he has to post his other buddy, Brian Battle. Little blonde hair bandit. Telling you guys, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Full Send MMA. He even be on Susur Kaya's nuts. I'm gonna get off this before I get myself in trouble, bro. I mean, shit. He ain't gonna do shit to me anyway, but I'm just saying. There's one last piece of content we can go over. Let's go over it. I will bring it up. It's MMA Guru reacting to Rampage Jackson's latest crash out. So just give me a minute because I got to switch windows so that we can go ad-free. I recently just downloaded an ad blocker. My life has changed. Shout out Soda Pop. And shout out if you were in that stream where I downloaded the ad blocker live. Life has changed. Oh shit, we might have to look at something after this. Boys, what do you say? What do you say, boys? Should we check out this latest documentary on... Oh, I see what's happening here. Wrong window. My bad. Gotta add a new window. It's like the content gods just plopped down a piece of content for me to fucking pick apart. Eric Nicksik, this MMA coach needs to be stopped. Okay, just hold on. Let me go like this. Just to give you guys a backstory. We are getting into Rampage and MMA Guru real quick, but we're going to get into this too. It's a 9-minute video. We'll watch it. But I just want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something. Okay, so I've already touched this topic, all right? Right here. Went 0-3 in UFC at went 0-3 at UFC 318. Eric Nicksik is one of the worst coaches in MMA and is ruining fighters' careers. We might have to watch that one before we watch that other one that we just saw. Vampiric legs. Let me take a picture of it so I can We'll react to that. He's got 55K views, and it was posted 2 weeks ago. When was mine posted? It should sync up. Oh, 1 month ago. Okay. 1 month ago. So we'll watch that. But let me just look up MMA Guru. We'll go with the
can you tell my girlfriend Margarita?
I'm not even going to hold you guys. I fuck with Guru. I fuck with Guru.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for buying us a ticket to UFC Paris and to stop guillotining me when we play fight. Yeah. And make sure you tell her sister Pepperoni to not fucking jump in as well. Thank you for $5. Ilya Tapiria fan. Girlfriend's name's Margarita. Oh, God. Sorry, I don't know why that made me chuckle so much, but there you go. You fat fuck. I bet you're fat. Thank you for the 5. Impression of Chandler hearing Till's nickname during Misfits and telling his wife they should adopt him. All right, man, yeah. We got to get this one, honey. You're going to be there on... going to be a bit of a Mighty Guru Show drought for a bit. Fair enough. That's good to hear. No problem. Thank you for the... better than Ilya? Yeah, dude. That guy that couldn't even finish or drop once, Kyle Bokniak. Yeah, he span a couple times. Striking. Oh. Shut up. I've already read it. In my car. Also, impression of Robert Whittaker. Ian. Something like that. Just skilled fighting UFC hit. I'm not shutting any doors. Already read it. I've got Alzheimer's. 14 Czar. Give it a $2. No, I think he's getting off because, of course, he's close to Rampage, and I'm not going to attempt. It's not some fucking... Me and DJ are cool. Thank you for the $2. No, we're good. Dude, DJ's not some fucking bitch. He's a world champion. You know what I mean? You think he's going to care? Like I called out some attempted murderer. Come on, man. He don't have to do it himself because of
Rampage is a world champion too, though.
I'm not going to make him speak on it, but he don't care what I get up to. As long as it ain't too bad, obviously. It's not like I attempted to murder someone. You know? Thank you for the $2. Has DJ, I've already read it. Lifting weights right now, hitting arms, all 3. Dang. Welch next Prodigy win? I'm not sure. I'm going on his pod soon, I think. Impression of Tom doing his own research on Uncle H. Whoa, what's going on here, mate?
See, even Guru, they just asked Guru about Tim Welsh's prospect if he's going to win. He goes, I'm not sure. But, like, everybody else on his D.
There was many reasons why he kicked off. Loads of reasons that we weren't told about at all. What were that group of people doing to Germany before he all kicked off?
Okay, this might be, like, let me go to the other one.
Did you see your Aiden Ross reaction to your video? Aiden Ross's reaction to my video? I don't know what his reaction was. Is it a new one, or did he just say that I was Australian and I was being racist because I had standards on human behavior? Very telling. I don't know. Yeah, let me just get this across as well, chat, yeah. When I see someone being brutally wronged by someone else and I can't do anything about it, yeah, it does fill me with like an uncontrollable rage. Just keeping it real. Like, it really does fill me with a bad, uncontrollable rage. So if the problem is how angry I came across in the video that I made in my response, when I see a video like that, and the guy is like a vet, and he's getting killed for no reason by Raja, it actually really hurts and makes me enraged that I can't jump through the screen and beat him to death. I don't know if... maybe that's a... You know, people aren't understanding that in this younger generation. But yeah, I think that's just being human. So I was full of rage during the video, but there's no excuse. Think of it how you will. It won't change anything. You ain't gonna do shit. Everyone's angry at me about it, man. I see it. I don't care. You got more criticism for calling Raja an animal than he did for attempted murder. I know people have been sending me it all day, bro. All day today, people have been sending me. You see, this is popping up on TikTok of you doing this and you saying this, and I don't care, man. Turns out TikTok's a bunch of fucking F words, dude. Who cares? Thank you for 5. Shiver me timbers, dude. TikTok's after me. Whoa! Look out, dude. The TikTokers are onto me, dude. Whoa! Shiver me timbers, guys. I'll be looking over my shoulder at night. Why does Reddit hate you so much? Oh no, Reddit. Oh no! Dude, Reddit and TikTok are... Dude, do they know where... Hang on a second. Reddit don't like people are disagreeing with me. You know what, chat? I might go woke and the whole industry is going to go racist. Yes or no in chat? Shall I start saying some really like progressive things and then the whole industry is going to be like, Guru's off yet again? I'm going to start saying like really like progressive things so the Reddit and TikTok community just completely go against me. Just to disagree with me. You know what I mean? I have to do this for everyone, dude. This is the way. Trust me. I'll be so pathetic that people will be awesome as a counterculture to me. Raheem Altaf. You think Rogan has heard of your impressions of him? Yeah, Rogan's seen my videos. I don't know if you've seen my impressions, but you've seen my videos. Chat, what do you think? Has anyone said, people forget, man, to Joe Rogan since I've been around? What are the odds, chat? Yes or no? Has anyone in public said to Joe Rogan, people forget, man, as they've gone past him, and Rogan has maybe been like, well, these people keep saying this shit. Like, do you know what that people forget, man thing is? I wonder if anyone has. I would. Yes or no, chat? Have you met Joe Rogan? I'm dropping a people forget, man. I 100% am dropping people forget, man, if I meet Joe Rogan. So I wonder if that'll be a thing moving forward where if any of you guys happen to run into him in California or anyone who's heard the impression, definitely sneak it in there. Thank you for the $5. A comedian did Rogan impressions in front of him on Kill Tony and he got butthurt. People forget, man, would probably get a fake laugh or smirk. So gay. Robert Whittaker says winning the using to archery is and the worst in his very the few that he has, I think. We because that could end in like a cringe disaster where now Tom's too big for his boots. Tom to push my head down. James front door thing I could do, and then it stopped. My walkout song. Yeah, he's to explain myself, but I'm gonna. What I'm saying is, when I was talking about that, I was saying I have more backlash for calling Raja names. Don't ever speak again, please. Enough of your takes. Stand by you on the Raja take. I know it was partly a joke, but the only thing I disagree with you on is that you should be able to call him the word. All right, I didn't even need to explain myself, but I'm gonna. What I'm saying is, when I was talking about that, I was saying I have more backlash for calling Raja names than he does for attempted murder. I should be able to call him the word and not get as much backlash. That was the take, but of course they took it out of context. But yeah. Then I turned it into a bit of a come town joke where everyone unites and says the word in. But yeah. I really don't care. I don't care to like want to be able to call someone the word, bro. They can have their gay little words, you know what I mean? Thank you for the $10. Is it crazy to say O'Malley could beat Haggerty if they had a striking match in the octagon? I feel like Sean would get him because of better distance control, boxing, footwork, kicking defense. The striking match. And I'm sorry. I don't know if you've seen any Haggerty fights. Haggerty could struggle. You could possibly. And he said, "Oh, don't worry. You know, being first day, me if I do this to you, or something like that." No, he never did anything. He's probably. I looked for him as well. And is fucking. What did Rampage say?
Took this long to get here. Why didn't you guys just post a 3-minute clip?
Jesus
what
Christ.
The fuck?
That make a bag off of you, Rampage. I don't know. People defending him in the comments. Just all of his mates that make a bag off of you, Rampage. I don't know. Not justifying anything. I'm going against my attorney's advice by talking about it. Did your attorney advise you to go bowling with whores the day afterwards and talk to donos about it as well? I don't know if that was attorney's advice, but yeah. Some people think Raja wasn't allowed in the ring. Just useless bullshit. Ain't reading the rest. No one thinks he wasn't allowed in the ring. End of. Thank you for the 2. We're all very aware and it's still bad. I'm not even reading the rest of it, mate. Dumbass. Thank you for the 2. He's I don't care. Good for him. He's defending his son in a retarded way. Done with it.
Bro, I didn't even watch Guru's stream and we said the same fucking thing.
Done with the whole topic, man. Back to MMA. We got UFC Paris this weekend anyway. Ain't got time for bums. Thank you for the membership, Luke. I appreciate the membership, dude. Thoughts on Rampage taking 0 accountability? I'm done with him, man. He can be a deadbeat if he wants and hang around whores and neon for a 24-hour stream. I'm just going to focus on MMA content now. But yeah, it is bad. He's coping very badly with it, but I like Rampage, and I hate that this is ruining my image of him.
Same take, bro. That's funny. We all like Rampage, bro. Okay, we're going to watch the last video. We're going to watch this video right here. We are going to watch Eric Nicksik ruining MMA. I hope this is good. I hope this is good. What the hell? I took a picture of it, so 1 second. Vampiric legs.
To truly understand the situation, Eric Nicksik, an MMA coach who has become very polarizing lately as his fighters have miraculously stopped fighting and started sparring on pay-per-view cards. He's a very accomplished coach with multiple fighters grabbing UFC gold while under his leadership. So what's the deal? To truly understand the situation that we're in right now, we gotta go way back to Team Quest. Formed in the very late 90s by Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, and Matt Lindland, it was one of the first MMA super gyms. Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, and Evan Tanner were all champions in a time when the UFC and Pride combined only had around 25 champions. Having 10% of champions ever at a single gym is kind of absurd. Chael Sonnen cut his teeth there as well, and he's undefeated. Do I need to elaborate? But around 2005, Randy Couture left and moved from the Pacific Northwest down to Nevada and started his new gym, Extreme Couture. It wasn't open to the public until 2006. Before that, it was just for professional fighters, but Eric Nicksik was the exception to the rule. He weaseled his way in there, and when the gym finally opened up to the public, Eric was the first official member of that category. He hung around for a very long time until he eventually became an assistant coach and the general manager of Extreme Couture. Eric Nicksik was in the corner of both Miesha Tate and Aljamain Sterling during both of their title wins as an assistant coach, and the knowledge he gained from great head coaches like Robert Fullis.
So as you guys heard, Eric Nicksik has never fought. He's just the longest tenured person at Extreme Couture. And he basically just was looking for a career path after he was done playing college football. Started jiu-jitsu, and then he's like, can I just join and like start working here too? And he became, he started just working under Robert Fullis. But that doesn't mean this guy's qualified, bro. Robert Fullis passed away early. Rest in peace, Robert Fullis. And then this guy stepped up to the plate, took over for the gym. Noble effort, but you were not near ready. Not near ready.
And Ray Longo cannot be overstated. This, along with Nicksik's many years of football and MMA coaching, made him an excellent choice for head coach of Extreme Couture after Fullis' departure in 2017. So Extreme Couture can really be broken down into 4 distinct eras. 2006 to 2011, the Couture-Fullis era. 2011 to 2017, the Fullis-Nicksik era. 2017 to 2023, the Nicksik era. And 2023 to the present day is maybe the start of the decline of Nicksik, which is what we're going to cover in this video. Eric Nicksik has been important in the development of UFC champions like Miesha Tate, Sean Strickland, and Francis Ngannou, but the Nicksik era is one of collaboration. Of the champions that he's been involved with, Sean still gets time in at different gyms all across the western United States, and he didn't come to Extreme Couture until 2018, maybe even 2019. He was already a 20-fight veteran, give or take by that point. Francis Ngannou was mainly trained by Fernand Lopez, who takes people to a certain point and then they tend to plateau pretty heavily, so Nicksik didn't have to do all the work there. He just had to bridge the gap between Ngannou and more technical fighters like Stipe Miocic, which he did very well and is still a feat, but he didn't train him from scratch. And from what I can find, he also wasn't too involved with Miesha Tate. She was more so connected to Robert Fullis. Eric was a decent cornerman though. So that's one of the main things that sticks out to me about Extreme Couture. And the Eric Nicksik era in particular, it's a revolving door.
Eric Nicksik is not a good corner. He's not even a decent corner. He doesn't give good advice. And the way you can settle that is the fight where Michael Johnson beat Daniel Zellhuber. Michael Johnson knows more about boxing than Eric Nicksik. So how is Eric Nicksik supposed to coach Daniel Zellhuber how to outbox Michael Johnson? Can someone tell me that? He wasn't. All he uses is a bunch of hype words. And Ariel Helwani took the bait and had him on a show and hyped the fuck out of him. And everybody's been hyping him up ever since. But now it's fallen off because he went 0-3 at UFC 318. And his fighters are going to keep losing because he doesn't know how to train them. Because he's never fought before. And he's fucking clout chasing off their careers. Aljamain Sterling isn't your fighter. Francis Ngannou isn't your fighter. Miesha Tate isn't your fighter. Okay? None of these guys are your fighters. Sean Strickland isn't your fighter.
And very high-level fighters have trained there, like Yuri Prochazka, Magomed Ankalaev, Aljamain Sterling, and Hamza Chimaev, who's...
They don't go there for Eric Nicksik. They go there because it's a central gym with all the best fighters in Vegas. And it's got an open door policy pretty much, unlike a lot of gyms. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it fucking twisted. Nobody goes there for Eric Nicksik. Now, people do that for Trevor Whitman, don't they? People go to Colorado to learn from Trevor Whitman. What do they go there to learn? Boxing. Trevor Whitman knows more about boxing than Michael Johnson. He could teach Michael Johnson something about boxing. Eric Nicksik could never teach Michael Johnson something about boxing. So just because fighters go to the gym where he is employed as a head coach and he doesn't even own the fucking gym, Eric Nicksik is nothing but a fucking commodity of the gym. He's like the ring in the gym. You know how there's an octagon in the gym? There's also fucking Eric Nicksik. He's a commodity in there. You know how there's mats in the gym? Yeah, there's also Eric Nicksik in the gym. Nobody goes there for the cage and the mats, right? They go there for the training partners. Nobody goes there for Eric Nicksik. They go there for the training partners. Sean Strickland went there not because of Eric Nicksik. If you ask Sean Strickland why he went there, it's because actually the other coach from Syndicate pushed him away because he was a little bit too overbearing. So Sean Strickland came over to Extreme Couture. Not because of Eric Nicksik, because the other coach pushed him away a little bit, okay? And he was just looking for a new home in centralized Las Vegas because Syndicate's right down the street. So he came over here. Again, not because he heard Eric Nicksik was the head coach here and that was going to fucking solve all of his problems.
Fighting soon and very well could be a champion. But has Eric ever really trained someone and found this kind of success from scratch? No. Nicksik is almost better as, and to a degree stuck as, a supplemental coach. The more that I've looked at different MMA coaches, the more patterns I've found, and the truly great coach...
He could teach Michael Johnson something about boxing.
Coaches don't strip their fighters of everything that...
Who else is a part of this guy's team? It's Serra Longo, right? Matt Serra, former UFC fighter, former UFC champion, former tough winner, okay? Jiu-Jitsu, Renzo Gracie, Jiu-Jitsu black belt, could teach 99% of fighters today something about jiu-jitsu, something about fighting, how to become a world champion. Eric Nicksik cannot. Matt Serra, Longo, Ray Longo built Merab and they built Aljo. I know John Wood from Syndicate is in Merab's corner. Same kind of deal. Not as bad as Eric Nicksik. I'm going to admit, not as bad as Eric Nicksik whatsoever. But I'm just saying, Merab was built by this man right here and Matt Serra. Kind of sucks that once these guys got him to the point they want to be at, they kind of left him and went over to fucking Extreme Couture and Syndicate.
Makes them unique. When there is an Extreme Couture style, and these fighters are made with cookie cutters, that makes sure that your entire gym will get figured out at the same time. It might take people a while, but they will do it. And limiting creativity is generally a bad thing because you don't have those breakthroughs. You don't have John Jones developing a spinning back kick at 37. Who does that, man? Recent examples of fighters not making great adjustments include Strickland, Ige, Zellhuber, and Dolidze. Nicksik put the blame on Sean for the DDP rematch performance, but I think it was more so a combination of both of them. Sean was brushing him off in the corner, but...
Eric Nicksik did what Rampage Jackson did to his son. Eric Nicksik did what Rampage Jackson did to his son. He cared more about appeasing the crowd of people, right? And he started biting on their narrative over wanting the approval of his own fighter. The own man who employs him and fucking pays him. Also, this greedy fucking bastard. There's rumors that he was trying to renegotiate pay with Sean. And Sean was brushing his ass off because Sean's not about that, bro. You don't fucking ask Sean for more money. Look at you. I don't buy your shit for 1 second, Nicksik. For 1 fucking second.
Compared to his other recent performances, it seemed like he had a bit of an off night. That's not really going to be a...
Joaquin Buckley's boxing coach is better than Eric Nicksik.
Popular take, but he had staph and his attitude the whole week was a little bit weird. So Eric Nicksik going on the Ariel Helwani show and leaving him out to dry is a bit weird. The specific quote was, I think he needs to evaluate what he wants to do in the sport. If it's just to make money, then that's... great, let us know. I want to coach world champions, so my motivations are different. Like,
that's a great pan. I want to coach world champions, so my motivations are different. No, it's not, bro. You're just a clout chaser on Ariel Helwani show, soaking up an interview after your fighter's loss. That's what you're doing. Trying to get more clout. by appeasing the people too. You don't want to upset them, right? You don't want to get any negative comments. You care so much about what people have to say, right? You're a fraud, bro.
If it's just to make money, then that's great. Let us know. I want to coach world champions, so my motivations are different. Like, dude.
So then I guess you should have told Francis Ngannou that you don't know shit about boxing, right? How crazy is it? I just told you this guy doesn't even know more about boxing than fucking Michael Johnson. And that's no disrespect to Michael Johnson. I'm trying to, he'll get it. Anyway. He couldn't teach Michael Johnson a lick of boxing, yet you're going to try to teach Francis Ngannou how to beat fucking Tyson Fury? Please. No, you're clout hungry. You're fucking money hungry because you chose a career path where you don't make very much money and you know it. You got a new hairline for this fight. Okay? You came out there with your shit all fucking redone, Abu Dhabi style for that fight. That's why you fucking want to train Francis so you could get a new hairline? Seems pretty selfish, bro. It seems like you don't want to build champions. You wanted a new hairline. You should have never been in his corner, bro. You should have been a fucking fly on the wall. I watched the vlogs. I saw you trying to get in there and coach with Mike Tyson. Trying to come in there and assert some of your fucking coaching dominance. Didn't work.
Let's not get too cocky here. You have one champion in a B-League organization right now, and he only fights once every 2 years. It's not like the gym is overflowing with champions.
This guy. I wouldn't trust this guy farther than I can throw him. Former UFC fighter. None are UFC fighters. Oh, there's the fraud himself. Brad Tavares. Max Roshkov, the guy who quit. No hate on him, I'm just telling you. One UFC fighter and a former UFC fighter. Interesting.
So you can train Danny, hey, be my guest. But out of the fighters at Extreme Couture right now, maybe
Here we go. Hang on one second.
flowing with champions. So you can train Danny.
So he wants to coach champions, right? He wants to coach champions. That's what his motivation is. But when Dan Ige took that fight on 8 hours notice, you hyped it up too, right? I think you took that as another opportunity to go on Ariel's show and explain why you guys are about that and why it was worth taking the opportunity. But we all know Dan took that fight for the money, not to win. And you just backed him up on it, and then you went on Ariel's show and also bragged about it. It would be one thing if you just had your fighters back, no matter what, but then you upped it as if it was a positive thing for his career that he went out and took an L for money, for the company. Okay. Because you turn around and you're like, no, that's just what we're about. Like, we're down anytime, anywhere, any place, blah, blah, blah. It must be so hard, bro, to come up with weird-ass shit to say that you don't even mean. That actually isn't even on the fucking top of your dome. How hard that must be so hard for you, huh? Literally, whatever is in your heart, that ain't what you say. You say what's on the top. You gotta fucking manufacture shit. You're probably sitting there okay, I'm gonna go on Ariel's show. How do I make it sound positive that Dan Ige made the right decision by fighting on 8 hours notice? How do I make the right decision? Or how do I make this sound positive? Because what's positive about that? If this was my fighter, because I put it out there like this. If somebody who comes on my podcast, right? I always care about the fighters who come on my podcast. If someone came on my podcast and we did an interview, especially multiple, right? And we talk about you wanting to be a champion, we talk about your serious career aspirations, and you go out and you accept a fight on 8 hours notice, I would be disappointed. Because that's not what we do, bro. That's not what we do. Let me give you an example. Remember when, who fell out of that JDM fight? I'm going to get this right. Give me a second. And I'm cooking this man right now, so just give me 1 second. Yeah, that's right. When Josiah Harrell pulled out against JDM, right? First it was Sean Brady, too. Wait a minute. Let's see. Brady withdrew due to infection. No surprise there. Okay, so Josiah Harrell pulled out because he had Moya disease. Quick plug, I got the interview with Josiah Harrell about the Moya, so after surgery, if you guys want to look at that, that's from like last year. Anyway, Josiah Harrell pulled out, right? JDM was still in Vegas and he wanted to still fight the following weekend. July 15th he fought, right? July 8th was Josiah Harrell bout supposed to be scheduled. Josiah Harrell pulled out during fight week when he did medicals, and then JDM fought Basil Hafez the next week on July 15th. What I'm getting to is that Joaquin Buckley and JDM were, I believe, at Power Slap or Contender Series, one of the two, live, right? And they ran into each other. Joaquin knew that JDM was looking for a fight. He wasn't booked against Basil yet. So he knew JDM was looking for a fight. He wanted to get something booked. The UFC saw that. And, first off, they talked right there. And Joaquin told JDM, like, let's get something booked in the future, bro. I'm down to run it with you. JDM said, let's fight next week. You available next week? And Joaquin said, nah, bro, I'm not available next week. I got to cut weight and shit like that. Like, next week doesn't fucking work. But I'm down to fight you. You need an opponent. I'll fight you. UFC saw that. They called Joaquin, offered him the fight. And the following week on July 15th, and he turned it down because he doesn't take fights on short notice. He wants to be a champion. Okay? That's the fucking difference. He wants to be a champion. He turned that shit down. Dan Ige doesn't want to be a champion apparently because he went ahead and took a fight on 8 hours notice against Diego Lopes to get take an L, and then with the idea that he was just going to sell shirts after the loss. I doubt he sold more than 100 shirts, bro. I doubt he sold more than 100 shirts. So I hope that pay bump was worth it, Dan. But I'm on a riff here. But the point is that this man went ahead and said that Sean Strickland, after his loss to DDP the second time around, he's so disappointed in him. His motivations are different. He wants to coach champions. 3 months later, he walks Danny Ige out to fight fucking Diego Lopes on 6 hours notice. This man is posting on his story, hyping it up. This is what we do. This is what we do. We got Kai Kamaka in the car. This is what we do, bro. If you gonna fight, yeah, we all just come through. We all just fucking get ready and go. So we can watch you take your fucking L for money. That's what this guy was saying on his story. Okay? Same guy who said that his motivations are to coach world champions. You ain't never built one champion, bro. And we're gonna get into that too.
Ige, be my guest, but out of the fighters at Extreme Couture right now, maybe Manel Cap can put some wins together, but he has to put a couple of fights together first, okay? Strickland is still the closest guy to a title right now. He has a win over Amavov, and if he gets 1 to 2 good wins plus DDP potentially losing the belt, which is a hard sell but not impossible, Sean Strickland getting the belt back isn't outside the realm of possibility. Crazier things have happened. Dan Ige pretty clearly lost a 29-28 decision to Patricio Pitbull, where he didn't make adjustments or throw enough volume. But you don't really see Nicksik throwing a hissy fit if he loses. Is it just because it's expected that he'll choke during these big moments? Zellhuber just didn't do enough against Michael Johnson. He just hung around on the outside throwing body kicks. Didn't really do much. Roman Dolidze spent 9 minutes striking with Anthony Hernandez, and he was backing up for 80%. But he also only threw 8 leg kicks. If you're looking for it, that leg kick is kind of open, but he threw 8 leg kicks in 9 minutes, so you do the math. The Extreme Couture fighters have a history of not making adjustments. Strickland wasn't an outlier, it was just the biggest example. But when Nicksik is calling for shit on the fly and doesn't understand why they won't listen, it comes back full circle to how they were being coached during camp, with probably a pretty rigid game plan that was drilled into them for 6 weeks, maybe 8, however many it takes, and then you want to change things on the fly, but you nailed it into them so much already, it's already in their head that they physically can't change because of that very disciplined Extreme Couture style. That's the main...
This guy's giving him too much credit already. He doesn't even do that much, bro. What can Eric Nicksik teach his guys, and who the fuck's gonna listen to him? Eric Nicksik probably doesn't even run practices, bro. He definitely doesn't teach striking drills. How could he? I'm being dead honest with you guys. How could Eric Nicksik teach a fucking striking drill? Who is... Dwayne Ludwig? You think about Dwayne Ludwig coaching an MMA striking class, right? And you think about Eric Nicksik teaching MMA striking class. I think you guys' brains don't go that far sometimes when you hear things. When you see Eric Nicksik on Ariel's fucking platform, you just think all of a sudden he can teach striking classes? Like Dwayne Ludwig? Like Trevor Whitman? Like Henry Hooft? You think he could teach a wrestling class? Like Matt Brown? Like Daniel Cormier? Like Matt Serra? You think this guy could teach you how to do fucking crazy like submissions and shit like that? This guy doesn't even know a heel hook. Ask him if he can teach you how to do a dead orchard. Just random moves, bro. You're the specialist, right? If I go to the jiu-jitsu gym down the street, I could ask my coach, or not my coach, but I could ask the professor there to teach me any move, and he'll probably know it. Getting a black belt in an MMA gym is literally retarded. Literally retarded. I just want everybody to know that. You getting a black belt in jiu-jitsu at an MMA gym is fucking retarded. Nobody wants to listen to me, but you guys will fucking soon learn, bro. So no, like this whole extreme couture style that this guy in the video is talking about, there is no extreme couture style. They're a band of misfits, bro. Aljo came in, Sean Strickland came in, you got Brad Tavares doing his thing. Like, these guys don't all fight the same. This ain't no Team Alpha Male fucking shit. Guillotine fucking system. This ain't that.
Main issue that most people have with Eric Nicksik and Extreme Couture right now. They all fight with the same boring, simple,
everybody goes to Extreme Couture because it's central. It's close to the fucking UFC.
risk-averse style that rarely evolves. The gym and Eric's reputation is one of high regard, where people have previously, myself included, called him the best coach in MMA and called Extreme Couture the best gym in MMA. At the same time, though, a large number of top 10 fighters don't hang around for too long. They use it for the tons of training partners it provides, and maybe pick up a couple of things here and there, but they don't stick around. So by my estimation, and I'm not an expert, I just look at patterns and I judge vibes, Eric builds a very specific...
This guy's not an expert. He looks at patterns and judges vibes. Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh my god, then why are you making videos?
Style of fighter who has success, but can be pretty easily figured out at the higher levels. These fighters will often have styles that aren't very fan-friendly, and he's also kind of petering out as a coach. This happens with every high-level MMA gym and every high-level MMA coach. People figure things out after a while. Think of Eugene Behrman of City Kickboxing, Saif Sayud of Fortis MMA, Trevor Whitman of Onyx. Places that have been staples over the last 5 years, but have been also on the decline. Maybe the attitude that we as...
We're turning this guy off now. This guy's a fucking retard. Vampiric Legs, I don't even know how you got 15k subscribers. You're a retard, bro. Damn. That's a shame. Okay, I just want to look up Eric Nicksik's real quick. Give me 1 second. I just want to find the video of Eric Nicksik teaching a kickboxer a armbar and actually going as far as to post it on his social media. Of course he had to speak on Tim Kennedy's Stolen Valor. Little clout chaser. Let me find it. Just bear with me.
Balance.
Okay, let me find it on Rico's thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna break this down for you. Here's Rico Verhoeven working an armbar. You think that's gonna work? Look at that armbar. Okay. Look, perfect, he said. You heard that word, right? Perfect. Perfect. His elbow is about to get pulled out. He knows that he can't do shit here, and he's just letting him, saying perfect.
Money.
Money, he says. Money, he says. Now let me tell you what he should be doing, okay? Okay, let me show you what he should do. Number one, this is going to show you. Number one, Rico should be pulling down, right? Breaking Eric's posture. That's number one, okay? Number two, you pull the arm across to the opposite side of your body that you want to submit. So if it's this arm right here, pull it to the side, okay? You pull it to the side. Then you put the foot on the hip, okay? Right foot on the hip. And this leg pendulum swings over the face, okay? Then you go for the arm bar. Now you don't have to fully extend, but you want to at least lock in a real arm bar. So once again, break his posture, pull the arm to the side, foot on the hip, use that to rotate yourself, put this foot over his face, hip up just a little bit so you get that practice, okay? Not the full extension of a submission, but hip up, and then you move to the next side. Now, I'm a better coach than Eric Nicksik, right? I'm a better coach than Eric Nicksik. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing.
Big weight.
Look at Eric Nicksik's elbow. Do you see a hip up? Do you see breaking posture? He's not even pulling the arm to the other side. Eric Nicksik is so ass, bro. And the thing is, Eric Nicksik's not a boxer. Eric Nicksik came in, got a black belt in this MMA gym. Okay? Eric Nicksik got a black belt in this MMA gym. And this is how he's teaching people. I'm better, and I'm a blue belt. I know how to teach people better than you, bro. But I guess that's because you're probably a black belt in no-gi, right? I'm a blue belt in the gi. And this is warm-ups, bro. This is fucking warm-ups. In a real jiu-jitsu class, this is warm-ups. You hit this as well as triangles and shit like that. This is warm-ups, bro. This is day one stuff. Before you can even roll, you got to spend like a week doing this shit. Okay? Just executing the basics, and then it's a warm-up after that.
Yeah, back him up with that after we start adding more. I like this to do a lot of different money. Big weight. Yeah, back him up with that after we start adding more. I like this.
Big whip, he says. Big whip. You're a retard, bro.
Jab it. 1, 2. Double. 1, 2 inside.
Probably so intimidated, trying to hold mitts for Rico Verhoeven, knowing he doesn't know shit about kickboxing.
Just want to, what I find really.
It's kind of sad that Rico Verhoeven even posted this saying, stay open-minded, just because it was an MMA class, and he's just out of his element here, so he's just trying to, you know, be humble. But again, why did he go here? Because it's a central gym. He didn't go, oh, I want to learn from Eric Nicksik. Nah, he was probably in Vegas. That's pretty much all I got for the evening. I think that was a solid effort. 2 hours? Holy shit, bro. 2 hour stream. Oh, you guys love that Eric Nicksik bit, huh? Yeah, you guys love that Eric Nicksik bit. I just had to expose the man for you guys. Because a lot of you guys, you know, a lot of people don't know shit. Including Ariel. I mean, Ariel would watch this and he'd be like, oh my god, you were training with Rico Verhoeven? Tell me about it. Is he coming over to MMA? It's like, bro, I can't even ask you about Rico Verhoeven because I watched you fucking showing him an armbar and I wanted to vomit. I ain't asking you about Rico Verhoeven. I saw you training with him and that shit was fucking ass. Why the fuck would I ask you about it? I'd be asking you if you were intimidated holding pads for a guy who's better at striking than you, who knows more about striking than you. The fucking audacity for you to try to hold pads for Rico Verhoeven. Let me tell you this, if the Hawaiian guy or whatever, Ray Sefo, if Ray Sefo was there and you're trying to hold pads for Rico, come on, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? And, you know, Eric Nicksik probably didn't even collab on that post because Eric Nicksik knows that it looked like ass. And then look at this one. Look at this one. Joe Mazzulla. Clown, bro. Joe Mazzulla. Listen, I watched this before I cringed. Hold up. Let me show you. I think he's like the coach.
One of the first questions I asked him was like, how do you organize your communication in the timeout? Like, who's talking? What are you talking about? How clean, how efficient is that? How do you structure that? And then I was
He's
like, okay.
the best in the sport at it.
I know. That's
He's
why
the
I saw him
best
out.
in the sport
I know.
at it, for sure.
And then like,
do you guys see what I'm talking about? This fucking hype man. He's the best in the sport at it. For sure, he's the best in the sport at it. He's the worst in the sport at it. I just told you. He couldn't even fucking teach Daniel Zellhuber how to fucking outbox Michael Johnson. Zellhuber had every fucking advantage going into that fight. Height, reach, age, speed. Should probably have somewhat of a power there. At least somewhat equal. And Nicksik couldn't do shit, bro. He's not the best in the game. You guys are paying attention to all the wrong things, bro. Oh, who gets to say what first? What the fuck are you talking about? Who gets to say what first? The fucking genius gets to go. Or you got a wrestling coach in your corner. You got a fucking striking coach in your corner. Striking coach goes, wrestling coach goes. Like, you guys are complicating the fuck out of this because you guys don't do shit. You're not doing anything, actually. And you're just like trying to explain away your fucking nothingness that you do in the sport. You're trying to explain away the nothingness. Every word you guys are saying here, nothing, bro. Nothing.
even like they practice the walkouts, like who's walking in the right place, like all that.
Oh yeah, you waste your time figuring out who's walking in the right place. That's the shit you guys pay attention to. Because you can't talk about the real shit about how Eric Nicksik, what do you say to your guys? How do you get them when somebody's, deploying a game plan? How do you fucking counteract that? You can't do that. How do you coach your fighter to go ahead and fight the guy he's about to fight? You can't do that.
Stuff is important. And then the second piece was like I wanted to dig deep into a coach-fighter relationship. And I think he's the best guy at communicating, but the best guy at the relationship piece. And it was like, how do you build a relationship with your fighter? How do you
brainwash your fighters to make them want to stay with you? How do you brainwash your fighters enough to fucking make them think that they can't seek out better fucking training elsewhere? And they stay with you for multiple fights. Kai Kamaka, Dan Ige.
You build a communication style with each fighter, and how do you use that in fight?
We're gonna watch that one more time because that was fucking nothing, bro.
One of the first questions I asked him was like, how do you organize your communication in the timeout?
Bullshit.
Like, who's talking? What are you talking about? How clean, how efficient is that?
How clean, how efficient is your talking? What are you saying? How clean, how efficient is that? Words. Just words coming out of your mouth with no fucking meaning. You're just saying words, bro.
You structure that, and then
how do you structure that?
He's the best in the sport.
I know. That's why I saw him out.
Best in the sport.
That's why I sought him out. Well, your team probably sucks then.
For sure.
And then like even like they practice the walkouts, like who's walking in the right place, like all that stuff is important.
Get off my screen. Get off my fucking screen. And why do I not like Eric Nicksik? Why am I so passionate about this, you might ask? Well, fighters are getting fucking fooled into having this guy walk them out, and they're getting hurt. They're losing. Their careers are on the line. But Eric Nicksik's getting 15%. So that's why. We got a couple comments here, and then we're going to dip. I respect Craig for getting New Wave $1 million, but it kind of takes away the shine from B Team's win. MacTube, Craig didn't get New Wave $1 million. The backer did. The backer wanted it to happen that way. I feel like Craig's selling out to Flow and putting CGI behind a paywall, and at the last minute really screwed over the fans. Wasn't it being free the whole point? He probably got a bag for it. Shaking my head. Yeah, that sucks. It honestly sucks that they put it behind a paywall. It really does. It really does. But it's okay, I guess. It made the event a little bit more exclusive. So I guess it is what it is. But alright, boys. Peace out. Thank you for watching. It's midnight here. So it's 3 3 a.m. fucking on the East Coast. Shout out to all you boys watching. Appreciate you.